This is your pick to win the West. Are you concerned about your pick now, especially after what you saw last night?
I have no concerns about my pick. I think they're too talented, and I do believe they will come out of the West and get back to the NBA Finals, and I'm not moving from that position 1 inch. But if you're asking me about them winning the World Championship and what serves, Skip, as an impediment to that ultimate goal, we just saw it last night. I don't know what alarmed me more. The fact that I saw Russell Westbrook conduct himself the way that he did, or the fact that the entire organization, from Coach Brooks to Kevin Durant and all of those guys, tried to, act like it wasn't a big deal.
Yep.
It's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. You know how I feel. I'm not you. I believe in Russell Westbrook. I think he's a superstar. I think this dude is big time, and I think that I'm not letting him go for anybody. He's 23 years of age. I mean, he can improve as a point guard, but I want him on my squad. I love his competitiveness. I love how he goes after it. I love a lot more things about his game than I don't. But I hope his parents are listening to me, because I met them at the NBA Finals. I hope Scott Brooks is listening to me. I hope Kevin Durant is listening to me. You can't allow that to happen. You are up 25 points with 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and you're backing down somebody on Memphis, and because Dabo Cephalosha comes into the lane and brings another defender there for you, which ultimately forces you to get called for a violation because it disrupted your rhythm or whatever you want to call it, you would react like that? To the point where you're on the bench, and Maurice Cheeks, who, by the way, should be a head coach in this game, who's forgotten more basketball than most of us know, he is on the bench, not having to be an assistant coach, but having to play the role of resident psychologist, where he's sitting there and trying to work with you, trying to cajole you, trying to calm you down. You get off the bench, you smack a chair, you go out. You're up 25 points. And I'm like, are you not oblivious? Are you so oblivious to the fact that if you're Cephalosha, you're like, my goodness, I made a mistake. That's all? We're up 25 points. I mean, what's the problem? I mean, when you see something like that happen, that's very bad, Skip. But then when you see a Brooks saying, well, you know what, he just overreacted, it's fine. When you see Kevin Durant with a smile on his face, it's not a big deal. I mean, you got to let him be himself. No. Because if you can react that way off of being up 25 and react that way towards a teammate so openly, with the cameras rolling, with thousands of people in the stands or what have you, over something like that, is it not possible that somebody will rattle you come playoff time? Is it not possible somebody will rattle you come NBA Finals? These are the kind of things I'm watching. I believe that Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook together will ultimately win multiple titles. But what I saw last night, Skip, has me ruling them out of winning the title this year, because you're going to go up against more seasoned individuals who know how to play together, know how to talk and communicate with one another, and know how not to overreact. I love Russell Westbrook. I really do. You know how I feel about him, Skip. But I really, really saw a kid last night. I didn't see a young man. And that's what I'm concerned about, because he's a good dude. But I didn't like what I saw last night at all. I was incredibly alarmed by that, because I thought it was totally unnecessary.
Sounds like you're starting to have concerns about the Thunder winning the West.
No, I don't think anybody's good enough to take them. I personally believe it. I don't have any concerns about them winning the West. I truly don't.
By the way, help me out. I just had a memory fail.
Oh, boy.
Who's got the best record?
I think it would be the Spurs.
Oh, the Spurs. I'm sorry. I always forget that.
Anyway. Hold on. Help me out, Skip. Remember, I always say to you, San Antonio, regular season. Okay. I always say that.
All right. Back to the topic. I had concerns before the year started. I have more concerns now. Love Kevin Durant, my favorite player. Hate it that he's forced to play with Russell Westbrook. And as you say, can't grow up yet. Really scares me for Kevin Durant's sake long term. I'd like to see him win 2 or 3 championships at the least. So
he will.
Stephen A., remember, Russell Westbrook is the primary decision maker for the Thunder. He is the quote-unquote point guard. He has the ball in his hands the most of any other Thunder player. And not only did he blow his cool, he blew up his team's psyche, and they nearly blew a lead to a Memphis that was in post-Rudy Gay trade disarray last night. They had only 9 players. The 3 new guys haven't gotten there yet, haven't passed their physicals yet, and they were a disaster until this happened. And as you pointed out, the Thunder are up 25 points. And he's posting up my cousin, Jared Bayless. We won't get into that, but we're distant cousins. But he thinks I got this. And Stephen A., he gets upset with Cephalosha just because he cut through the lane and brought the extra defender and messed up Russell's ability to score another basket. That is 100% selfish. That's all about Westbrook's out-of-control ego. He also thinks he's the primary scorer on this team. Whether anybody likes it or not, he's still taking more shots. I know the free throws can even it up, but he is still taking more shots than Kevin Durant, which is just unacceptable to me. That's egregious, to use one of your favorite words. So in the end, they keep defending him. And I'm right with you. I loved it that you called out and said, I hope you people are listening to Stephen A. Smith, because you should. Those were wise words from Stephen A. You can't keep saying, we got to let Russ be Russ. No, you don't. At some point, and Durant tried to mediate their little squabble, and it just made Westbrook even crazier. And then he throws his fit. Then he has to go to the locker room to collect himself. It was something of a good sign that he did gather himself enough to come back, and then they sort of restabilized in the fourth quarter. But Stephen A., Memphis went on a 25-10 run because of Russell Westbrook's tantrum. That will get you. At some point, it's going to get them. In the Western Conference playoffs, it will get them. They don't have James Harden to fill the void and settle them down, as he would have last night. I'm sorry, I'm not buying Russell Westbrook.
Well, listen, he's just too ultra-talented. I mean, he's the most athletic point guard in NBA history, as far as I'm concerned, this side of Derrick Rose, of a healthy Derrick Rose. I mean, this dude is unreal. He's only 23. I believe in him. You know, he doesn't get into trouble, doesn't act stupid off the court, doesn't do anything. He's a relatively model citizen. I also believe in that franchise. I believe in Sam Presti. I believe in Scott Brooks. I believe in Mo Cheeks, who I've known for many, many years. I love that brother. I'm just saying that when you look at these guys and you look at the organization from top to bottom, it exudes first class. Now, you've got a situation in Russell Westbrook where he's temperamental, and those moments will drive you crazy. But I also have a lot of faith in Kevin Durant and his intestinal fortitude, his strength to work through things. Kevin Durant has to realize that one of the problems that he has is his constant need to either pacify or protect Russell Westbrook. To let a boy become a man, sometimes you got to leave them out there standing on their own. You can support them to some degree, but sometimes that support turns into becoming an enabler and allowing stuff that shouldn't continue to continue far too long. Kevin Durant is of that same age, that's true, but he's far more mature, evidently, okay, far more stable. And as a result of that, sometimes in order to get that person to elevate to his level, you got to leave him hanging. You can only do but so much. This is about championships. This is about doing what it takes, and your abilities is just one component. The other component to it is your mental toughness and the poise that you're able to exercise. And that's a question mark with Russell Westbrook right now. I love his family. I believe in him. But at the same time, last night, I don't think Russell Westbrook has ever looked worse than he looked last night. It was bad last night. That's a very bad moment for him.
Kevin Durant got his 8th technical foul last night, which is unheard of and uncharacteristic for him. I like the new edge. I like the new Not Nice Nike campaign, the Not Nice Kevin. But sometimes I think some of his frustration boils over because of his running mate there, because he's got to carry Russell Westbrook.
All right, guys, Thunder, and of course, let's just add this, gave up 10 straight points after Westbrook's turnover and subsequent outbursts.